What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy TheTrueRawGamin. I don't wrap it up for you, man. I don't sugar it for you. I'm gonna get that shit to you raw, man. In today's video, we are back with another For Honor University video, man. I haven't dropped one of these in a minute, and it's been a while, man. I just haven't been in the best state to really give you guys the most optimal content, man. Like I prefer to have it nice, good quality, where that way if you need to come back to the video at any point, you can come back and not me just throwing some shit together. So I'm in a better state, mentally and physically better. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. So today we're gonna be going over the highly weighted video, parrying lights, man. How to parry lights. And from what I've seen on YouTube, there are just kind of guys telling you guys to kind of go on the bots and practice, but I'm gonna actually give you guys step by step how I learned and how I teach other people how to parry lights who are trying to get to the level. So if you guys like this content or any of my content, make sure you drop a like and drop a sub and drop a comment down below on what you guys want me to go over next. That's what you guys want to see next. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, man. We're gonna start off with, before we get into any lobbies, man, before we get into any picking characters or anything, we need to understand there are multiple different methods of parrying lights. There are two main ones. The main ones are reading and reacting. Okay, reading and reacting. Reads is simply just an educated guess. All right, that's all it is. It's an educated guess, or using a prediction based on information and prior knowledge or tendencies. So basically, it's just a simple guess. I know people try to be toxic about it, and they'll say, "Oh, you make a read." I get it. It's a toxic game. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's literally just you making a read or making a guess. That you can't go wrong with making a guess. You have to. This is a fighting game. And the other one is reactions, which is when everyone assumes that you need to have when parrying these lights. Reactions, simply put, is very straightforward. You see the indicator and you just send it, you go for it. So a lot of players want to get to that point of reacting and think you just have to be born with it, and it's not true. For Honor is a very complex game. It looks simple on the outside. It's a very complex game in very tight situations between milliseconds. So it's very important that you know that you're not going to just start at level 100. You need to build your way there. And third method is how I did it and how most players are going to do it, and they still continue to do it even when you're at that high level. And I call it the half and half. Basically what it is you're going to stare at the center of the screen, and you're going to use your peripheral vision, and you're just going to stare at the chest or the area in the middle of the screen, and the first indicator that you see pop up, you are going to 100% assume that it is a light. And the minute you see that indicator pop up, you go for the parry. That is half and half. I call it half and half because, one, you are reacting to seeing the indicator show up. You are technically reacting to the indicator showing up. But you have to make a read because it doesn't work 100% of the time. You have to know that a light is coming. You just are not fast enough to react to which side it's coming to. So if you're one of those guys who think you're trying to parry a light and you miss it by just a little bit, and you're like, oh, I thought I parried it, you may need to try this, because you probably have the ability already to parry the light. It's just you are just slightly too slow. So today's video, like I said, we're going to incorporate all this. I'm going to go step by step how I learned it and how I teach people. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go and practice, because obviously you're not just going to jump into a game after this video and pull none of this shit off. I'm just going to be honest with you. I keep it real. It's not going to happen. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the training arena. The training arena is going to be your bread and butter for especially learning how to parry lights. And we're going to actually start off. It doesn't matter what character you pick. I would say you pick the character that you are most comfortable with, maybe your main character, because visually it's going to be very tied to your skills. You're used to seeing it. You want to keep the repetition. You want to keep the commonness going. You don't want to be switching a bunch of characters. Don't switch to a character you hardly don't play. You want to keep your brain and your eyes occupied with something that is used to. Let it be comfortable so that when you do it, it becomes second nature a lot quicker. So you're going to go to the training arena. Once you go to the training arena, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the bot. You're going to go to these settings down here, and you're going to scroll through, and you're going to have your bot throw heavies. You're going to start with heavies. I know everybody wants to jump into lights. Start with heavies. Even if you can parry heavies, start with heavies, because this next step I'm going to tell you is going to be important. After that, you're going to make sure you have this bar on. This bar right here is going to give you the timing bar, and this is why I said this is important to start with heavies. So you're going to start with heavies, but you're not just parrying the heavies. You're going to have to try to parry at the very end of this bar. Consistently is the key. When you can do it consistently, You get the feel of how strict they need to be at the end. This is going to help you later down in my later video on how to stop getting hit with so many unblockables, because a lot of you guys get hit with so many fucking unblockables. It's crazy. It's crazy how to really shut down that shit and react to it. If you cannot react to parry flash, I understand. Get the timing, get the feeling of it. You'll feel it. You can maybe look at the animation. I'm not gonna go over that today. Just look at the bar and just parry and parry and parry and parry. You want to get the repetition going, get the flow going. What you're doing is you're getting your brain and your fingers used to parrying on a stricter timing than just regular heavies. Okay? Once you get that done good enough and you feel a little bit more comfortable doing it, now you're gonna turn that bar off, and then you're gonna do it again, and you can do it again. It should feel off if you miss it. Every time you miss it, it's gonna start feeling weird where, oh, I parried it too early. You'll know if you're doing enough. You'll parry, oh, I parried that too early. Oh, yeah, it was way too early. I parried it on the first frame. And then as you do that, you get a sense of timing. Timing is very important, especially when playing defense, because when you can delay attacks and all these other things, you can mix up the variable timings. Timing is very important, especially when playing defense. So what you're gonna do is, after that point, you're gonna turn the bar back on. Turn the bar back on, and you should be parrying at the same timing without even trying to parry it on the timing. Does that make sense? It should be fluid. It should be comfortable. It shouldn't be forced to do it. You should be able to be comfortable doing it under stress. Once you get to that point, then you're ready to go to lights. But if you're still struggling, you're probably gonna struggle on the first day. Go ahead and try lights anyway. Now we're gonna put on the lights. Okay? Put on the lights. It doesn't matter what character, same thing here. And what I want you to do is stare right here. Stare right here. Don't look anywhere else. Don't look at the animations. Don't try to look at your character's colors. Don't look at your skin and your drip. Don't look at none of that shit. None of that shit matters. You're gonna focus right here. I'm gonna have a circle. You're gonna focus right here, and out of your peripheral vision, it's gonna take probably some time. Out of your peripheral vision, the first red indicator that you see, you are going to assume that it is in a light attack, and you're going to parry it. And you're gonna try again. And you're not gonna get the first time, and you're not gonna get the second time. But if you continue to do it, you continue to do it, you continue to do it, you're gonna eventually get it. You're gonna eventually get it. But once you do it, you want to practice on the same character over and over and over and over and over. And then you get it down. Now you should be able to be comfortable. You should be able to be comfortable. Okay? If this is too hard to jump, there is another step you can take. You can start by starting with blocks. If it is too hard, start with blocking. Look in the center. Look in the center. And the first indicator you see, move your stick up and block. If you are missing it, the parry, that is probably, if you're missing the parry and you're getting the block when you go back and try the block version, that means it's not the fact that your thumb isn't moving in position, it's the fact that your thumb is there, but your right finger, or however you hold your controller, the trigger finger or whatever parry button you have, is not going fast enough. So that's why I said this is a skill. You need to be able to have the hand-eye coordination to do it. Your brain is probably registering as a light. Your eyes is probably seeing it, but your fingers need to be faster. They need to be faster. And if you do this drill consistently and look at the timings on the bar, it's going to help you get a more stricter timing. You'll have a more tighter gap. You'll have your reflexes that'll click in really, really fast. This is what I did to start parrying lights and to become a better player. When you want to fight the better players, you will need to parry lights. I don't care how good your offense is. I don't care how good your mix-ups are. I don't care how good your character knowledge is. If you can not parry lights at all, like if you are 0 of 0 parrying lights, you will get exposed. That's just what it is. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Hopefully this helps you. If this does not, you got to keep working on it. You got to. If you're on old gen, I'm sorry, I should have said this earlier, but this video is not for you. I'll put it probably down in the comments, but this video is not for you. There's nothing you can do on old gen. So that's really about it, man. Hopefully you guys can find this kind of useful, man. If you guys enjoy my video, make sure you drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment down below what you guys want to see next, man. The next video that will be coming up for this, like I already gave you a hint, it's coming. Make sure you drop a sub. You don't want to miss it, man. I don't wrap it up for you. I don't screw it for you. I'm gonna get that shit to you raw, man. Thank y'all for coming out.